Hello, this is Ivan Goodies again, and we're going to pick up right where we left off. So this was our Unity project. We know that all the things that we need are right here. So in this part, we're going to configure our first character. Now, if you go to Resources and Agent, you have a character here. This is Taima. We've been using it in the other tutorials, and she's already configured, so you can use it as a reference. But for now, let's pretend that we don't have her, and we're getting a character completely from scratch. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to go to Assets and import new asset. I'm going to go to my desktop here, and I have a model called Laura FBX. Now, this model was made in Fuse. It used to be Mixamo's tool. Now it's bought by Adobe, and it's part of the Creative Cloud. It's free. The features have changed a little bit. There's a link below, so you can reach the tool. But for now, let's pretend that you already created your character. That's sort of out of the scope of the tool. It usually gives you this warning. It just means that some normal maps are not treated as normal maps. Let's just say yes. And with that, I imported it here. So now I have Laura, I have this, and I have this. These are all parts of these characters. Just to be organized, I'm going to put them here in Agent. And these materials are Laura's materials, so I'm going to put them here. And in fact, everything's just here inside Laura. Now, I'm going to drag her into the scene. Go to my top view, move her right in front of the camera, turn her around 180 degrees. I'm just going to put my animation window, my game window here. Let me remove the stats. And so you can see that she looks very creepy, very weird. This is also a common problem. Let me get her a bit closer and the main camera a bit higher. Okay, now the reason for this, it's because the materials of the character, this ones that you see right here, that were important with it, for some reason a lot of times get imported as transparent. So we just have to change them back to opaque, all of them. The hair, I'm going to leave it semi-transparent. And then, opaque. And you can play with these settings to make her look more real, or with the lights in the scene and whatnot, right? But for now, that's going to be it. So if you expand the character that we dragged into the scene, we have several things. So first thing we're going to do is, with the character expanded, I'm going to disable the eyelashes because they require transparency in a special material. And we're going to add code to two things. First the head, then the main character. So in the head, you can see here that we have all these blend shapes. These blend shapes up here are for lip syncing, and these blend shapes down here are for different emotions. So if I put, I don't know, anger up to 100, I see that she gets mad. And if I move it left, I can see that she goes back to normal. And the blend shapes right here are for lip sync, so there are different phonemes. Now, this works with a separate system made by Oculus that we included here. So this is the OBR lip sync module. You can get this from the link below. This is from Oculus again. It's included in the package just for version control to make sure that you're using the exact same version and to have something working. But if you want the latest, greatest, you can get it from their page. And in OBR lip sync prefabs, you have to go get the lip sync interface right here and just drop it in your scene somewhere. It doesn't matter where, but basically not parented to anything. Then let's go back to the head, and we're going to add a couple of components here. The first one is going to be the OBR lip sync context base, I believe. Let me see. No, OBR lip sync context. I'm sorry. This is going to add an audio source. Make sure that it's set to play and awake. And it's going to add this. The only thing you have to do here is uncheck audio mute. The second thing we're going to add is the morph target. Now, this one does need you to drag the head in here because this is what's going to access the blend shapes, meaning the different shapes of the lips. Right? Now, these match to. Give me a second here. These match to the blend shapes that your character possesses. Now there are 15, and they are named on this particular character, but if you go into the Oculus documentation, they'll be the exact order and mapping that you need. For this, I happen to know it. It's basically just starting with this one and then all of these down here, which is what I did, starting with 14 and then all the others. And again, you can get a lot more information on this from Oculus itself, together with some working examples and other stuff. But for now, these things that we just did, the OBR ellipse and context, morph targets, and the audio source that gets added automatically, and the blend shapes, which need to be created by an artist. This will make her actually talk. There's one last thing missing, and it's here. It's untagged, but we're going to tag it as face because this is what's going to help us find the face later on to do the emotions. Basically, access the other blend shapes here that change her their facial expressions, not necessarily lip sync. Now that's all there is for the head. As for the actual body, the first thing we're going to do is we're also going to tag this as agent. Now we don't have the agent tag here. In case that happens, you can just go add tag plus tag agent, and then let's go back here. Now we see the tag here, and there we go, agent.